Hey y'all, Becky here with the Glitter Ranch. Was gonna do an acrylic tutorial. So, just took off my gloves, so let me get those back on real quick. Alright, so I have my cup prepped. This one I don't have taped like I typically would, but you don't have to. Again, that's all optional. Your personal preference. Okay, so I've got my epoxy mixed, got a 1-to-1 ratio, like, you know, most all of them are. I'm going to put these, actually I'm going to give it a couple more stirs, I think. There are bubbles in it, but that won't matter because I'm going to add some acrylic paints and then also heat gun and torch it. So I'm not worried about that at all. I'm just going to put it in smaller cups so I can add some color. And I'm also going to put a base coat down. So my colors will have a way to move a little faster. I just got my little stir stick here. So you can always use those little spatulas or anything to get the epoxy on your cup. Just kind of putting a medium coat. I would put a thinner coat if I was going to do a epoxy method on for glitter. With this, I need some movement with my acrylics, so I'll put, you know, kind of a medium coat on. So a decent amount on there for sure. Of course, you don't want to forget the bottom. A bug just landed. Oh, I got it. Out here in the garage, working in the elements. Sometimes I have little visitors, at least when a mosquito. I've been having a lot of fighting with mosquitoes here lately on my tutorials and my lives. Just kind of that time of year. I would typically mix my epoxy with my little electronic mixer, so that way I don't stir in bubbles, because I tend to move faster than what I probably should on some things, and so I will typically stir in bubbles. So having that mixer has helped me a lot. I got that from Cuposaurus, little double mixer. It's really handy. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to hit this a little bit of heat. Okay, so now I have poured my epoxy, like I said, into some smaller cups. I'll move them back here, maybe y'all can. Better view here. Almost need like a little shelf right here so you can see better. I'll work on that. Okay, so I've got some paint here. Any paint you want. I'm kind of going with a beach look here. Just putting a small amount. Now my white, I'll probably add some clouds, so I'm going to put it in my one that has the most epoxy in it. I'm using classic caramel white, Bimini blue. I think the one I'm probably going to use the most of, blue, will be my last color, my darkest color. So I'll put that in the one, cool blue, that I have the most epoxy in. I never seem to take the plastic off my lids before I do a tutorial, and then I'm scrambling with, I can't get that thing open. This one is a Ward Blue. So you can always just take off the lid and dump it in. Okay, so just a small amount. I'm just gonna put a little swirl in there. probably would want a little more brown. I should have put a little more in there, but I will make that work. Okay, just giving it a nice little stir there. Oh, that's pretty. I like the little bit of the lines of it not being so stirred. So I think I'm going to leave a little bit of texture kind of in there for the depth of that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. You can see it's pretty thick. Just trying to get it everywhere there. I'm going to go with my pool glue now. And that one that's got a little more green in it. Since I am not in my shop and have my extra epoxy at my fingertips, I'm not making it so stringy so I don't really waste on the ground, because if I want more epoxy, I'm out of luck for doing my live. So trying to be kind of sparingly and not drip it on my backdrop, on my paper on the bottom. There, that one goes. Kind of a sand color. I'm going to add a little extra down here to the bottom, kind of coat it a little more. I don't care for it to be stringy, I'd rather it kind of be a little more solid. Okay, now I'm going to hit it with a little heat. You can see how it gets thinner with that heat, for sure. A little spot there that I'll need to go back and fix. I'm going to add a little bit of additive to this white. I'm going to grab that. use the back of a paintbrush because you really just don't even need much. I'm jumping over everything. Put the lid back on that. This is bulletproof additive. Have on the site. I'm just going to make a little shimmer out of this. I want my green to come down further, I think. Hit this with a little more heat and a little more movement in there. And that spot, got that one taken care of. I'm just kind of using what's left on the brush, on the stick rather. Just kind of pulling that around. Go the other way a minute. Throw a little more blue down. So any place that you feel like it needs a little more, you can always go back in, throw a little more in there. You'll see with that heat how it's blending in more. Those little kind of patchy spots just kind of fix themselves. It's like I want a little more around the rim, I think. With that heat gun, you can kind of move it a little. Let's go down here at the bottom too. Go back in with my white. I kind of like the layering of just kind of going some light layers. I feel like it just gives some more depth to the cup instead of everything just being, you know, so one-dimensional. I feel like it gives it a little more dimension. So you can do this with any kind of color, any color combination. You know, whatever your customers, you know, colors are that they're looking for. It's really easy to do. Okay, y'all, that's basically it. I'm just gonna let that spin. You can see it's still kind of moving. Let's see if I can hit that where you can see it move. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to see that pretty good. So they just kind of swirl together, and you know, it'll look a little different when it's done spinning. But yeah, that's really all I do for my acrylics. I just mix them with the epoxy, just kind of a small amount, and then I just string them back and forth is the texture that I'm going for on this. So you could do it in any colors, make it look like any kind of sunset or anything like that you would want. You know, put some fish on there, jumping out of there, some sea turtles, some mermaids, anything like that. You know, you can go with the yellows and oranges and reds would be real pretty for a sunset. Anything like that. So that's the basics on the acrylics. Thank y'all for joining me. Glitters can be found at theglitterranch.com. I only use additive for this, and it's just super fine. So it will give just a shimmer to the acrylics in that top coat. The paints, I've gotten them from Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I'm sure you can get them off Amazon, any number of places. That's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all.